Hello and welcome to the Deaf Game Bear podcast. My name's Sean. Joining me today is the one and only Marco Buff, Mr. Buffalo Man. Oh fuck, no, my Buff is a person.
We've come full circle
here. I am multitasking, trying to look at the airwaves. Mark O'Forden, how are you?
Yeah, good mate. How are you, Sean?
Yeah, good mate.
We've both got NBA fever at the moment, I think. A little bit of free agency flu.
FAF, we call it. You messaged me earlier. We were talking in the group chat, very animated, because all this shit's happening. And then you messaged me, you're like, do you want to do a pod? And I was like, fuck, I do, man.
Yeah.
What the fuck's wrong with me?
There's plenty to talk about.
Bro, so I can't believe this wasn't in the calendar on my bad.
That's a tua culpa, as we say, tua culpa, as the Italians say.
Talk to a culpa. Fuck, you got any stories at the first start? Or should we just like...
Not really. Just that yesterday at work, I had one of those real bad looking at my phone days, where you're like, fuck. Like, I'm going to reward myself with 5 minutes of Twitter scrolling for an hour of work. I think most office workers are. But man, I was just like 15 minutes staring at my phone, not doing anything. Yesterday. And so I was like, I need to become a more, I need to be more conscious of that. I need to become like a less phone polluted, screen polluted sort of person. And I was like, I'll just leave my phone in my bag, try that and just check it at lunchtime, have a nice scroll, eat your lunch, just get out of that nasty habit. Of course, it was NBA free agency as soon as I woke up this morning. So no. I could not have my phone already.
Man. My work around the screen stuff the phone stuff is, you download or get all your cool stuff on your desktop. So I only use Twitter desktop.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
God.
And then my screen time has gone down to like sub 3 hours.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's really good.
But like, I don't get screen time from my desktop. But like,
yeah.
I need to look at. I need to have a Twitter thing open. But there was the Dunked On Pod have made a list of all like reputable NBA Twitter like reporters.
Yeah.
And so I was just refreshing that one.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool. So as opposed to like, some really inappropriate joke and then Shams. It's like, Jake Fisher, then Shams.
And then in Elon Musk's X.com era, insane videos that go hard or the most anti-Semitic post that you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about the time I was hanging out with, I was hanging out with this guy like a month ago and we were just talking about Twitter and the downfall of and how, used to be the favorite app and now it's like obviously run by a former oligarch and you're a bit and then he's like, yeah man, my feed's just full of alt-right shit, it's horrible. And I was like, look, to be fair, I don't get any alt-right shit. I don't know what I've done, but I've just dodged it. Like, that's crazy. It's just funnies and basketball.
It's just started creeping in for me and sometimes I'll be like, when you look at something and it's like an event and someone's got a take on it and you're not sure what the take is at first glance, and then you click on it, you're like, the replies are full of blue checks doing racist dog whistles. I fully thought this was going to be a leftist thread.
Yeah. Have you seen the guys like the blue checks replying to Elon? It's like Daddy Elon shit.
So funny, man.
It's like, hey, we should get a pizza sometime and stuff. Like they just wrap up like a paragraph glazing him. But no, today there was lots of glazing for the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah.
Couple of days ago, is it days? Yeah, they traded for Kristaps Porzingis in a salary dump for the Boston Celtics. And they backed it up today by signing, now, we talked about which apps we're using. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I just have the headlines. But they signed Nickeil Alexander-Walker to a 4 for 54 deal.
62?
Shit, that's bigger than my number. And Luke Kennard to 1 for 11. Well, I probably shouldn't go this whole pod on just dome. Is this a fair place to start?
100%.
The ATL Hawkins. What do you reckon, man?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've just made... God, I said this in the group chat earlier today that they've made a couple of moves, not just in off-season, but in the last few trade periods, let's call it transfer windows, where they've just been the beneficiary of other teams either being really stupid or like just wanting to get something done. They got off the DeJounte Murray contract with who they overpaid severely for. and they actually managed to get Dyson Daniels, a player of value and a good pick from the Pelicans for it. They were the beneficiary of the Pelicans again when the Pels wanted to trade up for freaking what's his name, Queen, the center,
Derek Queen,
getting an unprotected first round pick from them next year that could very well be the number 1 overall pick in the 2026 NBA draft.
So good.
They get Porzingis for peanuts because like the Celtics want to salary dump him, and like, you know, I think we can talk more about it, but like the fit's good if he can stay healthy, so that's just like found money. And then like the Nickeil Alexander-Walker just feels like completely the right player to put alongside Trey, like bolster that wing position. You know, a bit of a Dyson Daniels light to come off the bench, so you're not sort of missing that point of attack perimeter defender. And yeah, like I don't know how good Luke Kennard is. I don't know, is 11 million just the money that you pay for a player like that under the CBA?
Yeah, but like so the MLE is 14.
Yeah.
So it's like it's less than the average salary. But it seems like a lot of money.
Yeah, it does.
So you can, if I was a GM, I would, if I specifically wanted a shooting guard that did nothing else, you can just cycle through like the AJ Greens of the world and just hope that one of them hits, because like they probably will. Like, you know, Isaiah Joe was going for peanuts a couple of years ago, and the Thunder were like, all right, we'll give you a go. You know, guys like that, like Joe Harris came off the scrap heap somewhere.
But on the other hand, AJ Green is one of like 2 guards on the Milwaukee Bucks roster at the moment. So.
So I guess whatever they got. Apparently Trae Young was also instrumental / played a big role in getting these guys to agree to come to Atlanta. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, it's a sign and trade, but it was to send a second round pick and cash back. Don't really know why that was. He was unrestricted, so I guess maybe the Atlanta Hawks just wanted to be a little bit lighter on second round picks, but whatever. So Trae Young, you know, there's been a lot of there's actually been not a lot of talk about him because you know, I think a couple of years ago he was in the MVP discussion, right? Like he was never going to win, but it's like, well, this guy's like rising. He's there with Luka. And now, he's recruiting guys to Atlanta, and Atlanta have gone from a like, fuck, you know, you got to pay DeAndre Hunter that money. They got off DeAndre Hunter for nothing. Karis LeVert and Georges Niang. Now they're primed to be that team, like in the East, that can sort of take one of these positions from every single team that's going to be falling out of it.
And I think I don't want to overstep the mark with them, because they were a 40-42 team last season, and their starting lineup's pretty much going to be unchanged. Like, I mean, Porzingis is probably going to start over Okongwu, but like, let's be honest, Okongwu is probably going to start 35 games next season, and play, you know, 28 minutes. Oh, I don't know, 22 minutes off the bench in an ideal world. But yeah, it could be just that combination of adding enough depth that fits well. And the East just getting so much worse. Like, they really have to bet on, like, you know, I mean, I guess they're going to have to bet on, like, do you have to bet that this roster is better than whatever the Boston Celtics are going to trot out next year? Like, I think that's the gamble that a lot of these East risers, quote unquote, are going to be making. That like, we want to jump into the top 4, the top 6, but like, you know, almost more by virtue of other people getting worse and us just getting incrementally better. Because I mean, it's the same with the Magic, where it's like Desmond Bane's great addition, but like, does that raise you from a play-in team to a playoff lock in a normal year? Probably not.
We'll talk about other teams. Like the Pistons have definitely made some moves to get better. The Knicks have as well. The Knicks are already a 50-win team, but like, you know, the Pacers are probably going to fall. They haven't really addressed anything yet. No. Very awkward.
Don't know what they'd address either. Like,
he's got to speak to Father Time. He's the guy who speeds it up, not the one that knocks the bells off when you're done. But yeah, it's like, you know, I guess 76ers are going to be back there just because they sort of have to. But
unless they're not.
I despite saying all that, I do like the Hawks being a top 6 favorite, if not lock in my eyes, heading into next season. Next team, who do you want to talk about?
Should we talk about the Denver Nuggets?
That was the team I wanted to talk about.
So they traded Michael Porter Jr. And a 2032 unprotected first round pick, unprotected, for Cam Johnson. Getting off that pretty bad contract of Michael Porter Jr.'s. And I don't know what sort of money is Cam Johnson on? If you can pull that up, Jamie.
While Jamie's working on that, I will say, incredible trade. Obviously a win now. Michael Porter Jr. was getting paid like 48 mil or something. Cam Johnson, I think it's in the 30s.
It's 23. Wow, that's great.
And he's expiring at the end of this year.
He's expiring next year. He's got 2 more years left in this deal.
I will mention that 2032 year, Nikola Jokic will be turning 36.
Yeah.
Cam Johnson probably will be as well. He was an older rookie, but like this is the trade that we all talked about. Just to round out the Denver Nuggets, they also signed Bruce Brown to his minimum. This is sort of what the Nuggets should have done at the deadline or the year before. It was kind of clear that Mike Porter Jr. wasn't going to be very good at basketball. And the amount of because I still listen to a couple of Denver pods when something big happens. The amount of Denver guys that are like, you just can't discount the fact that he's 6'10" and he can shoot. And it's like, yeah, but at some point he keeps hurting his fucking back and he's not shooting. Yeah. So it's like, there was a report that came out shortly after this that said that the Brooklyn Nets are going to keep.
They're quite interested in him.
Sorry, I think your mic just cut out.
Mate.
All right, technical difficulties somewhat over. We're on. It was my mic. The Brooklyn Nets are going to keep Mike Porter Jr. and they sort of like him as like just to see how he goes and look at him as for a reflip. I don't like their prospects doing that, but he's expiring.
It's also like I feel like they just keep doing that. Like they just keep getting guys and be like, we'll just hang on to him for a little bit. Like even Cam Johnson has hung around probably one more off-season than he should have. You know?
And I think this pick, you talk about picks potentially going number 1 overall. This pick might have the odds there. Which is like, what would they have traded at the deadline? It would have been like to the Thunder for salary and a couple of picks that are definitely going to be in the teens or 20s, right? I can't remember what the other Cam Johnson trades were. Like, I think the Warriors might have been in there. So it might have been the Jimmy Butler package, which was the 20th pick. This pick has a lot more upside than what they would have got, so I guess they sort of did a good job.
Yeah, I guess you would hope if you're the Denver Nuggets that even is Jokic going to hang around till he's 36? Like,
probably, maybe.
He's got the I guess he's got the physique and the panache to still be in the league then, but like that's not a guarantee given his I guess exhaustion with the NBA
at times.
At times. And then like a 33-year-old Jamal Murray with like fucking multitude of physical issues he's gonna have. Those are really your only prospects of like
sticking around,
of being around out of the lottery, basically, of being like a play-in team. Is having those guys on your roster. I will say, like, these are great moves. They're great win now moves, but also like this is just they're both digging yourself out of a trench that you created yourself. Like you gave Michael Porter Jr. that massive contract. Like you repeatedly backed him despite like health issues and on-court issues and off-court issues. Man, he's a weird guy. Like it's probably hugely beneficial to not have him on your roster. And like maybe you could have avoided this 3 off seasons ago if you weren't insistent on being so cheap. Like getting Bruce Brown on a minimum when what did he get?
20 mil, 22 mil.
Like that's great. That's awesome. That's no virtue of the Denver Nuggets front office for being like Bruce Brown will be not that good for the next 3 years. And who knows how good he'll be for them this year. But like you could have avoided this situation.
A 1,000,000%. Although I am excited, and they
100%.
They took the eventual champions to 7 games, and you could argue that they were maybe the 3rd best team in the playoffs, which you just don't know at the time because they got eliminated when they got eliminated. But they're after these trades, after today, and this is all you can ask, after today, they're going to be in the title conversation next year.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is job well done. Yeah, they're not going to have 5 fucking all-stars in their starting lineup, but they're definitely going to be higher up in our lines of title contenders.
Is Russell Westbrook a free agent?
He still is.
That's funny.
He had, I don't know why it was reported as this, but he had a Zoom call this morning with the Sacramento Kings. Apparently, it was like back-to-back Zoom calls. Again, I don't know why they described it as that, but it's not like, I imagine all these guys are in California, but they had a call with Dennis Schroeder and signed him.
Yeah.
And then had a call with Russell Westbrook.
Wow. So they're still interested in Russell Westbrook after signing Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah, no, it was a report from Jake Fisher, I think. I don't know if you got it in front of you. But it said that the idea is to sign both of them.
Right.
And then it's like...
what is going on there, man?
Sacramento's really cooked. Let's maybe just talk about it just for a second. For our listenership, we probably shouldn't talk about the Kings so early. Things they did today... son, what's his name? They also gave they picked up Keon Ellis's team option, which was one of those like Jalen Brunson second round pick team option dealios, where it's like you can decline it and make him restricted this off season, or you can pick him up and he becomes unrestricted next off season, but you've got 6 to 9 months to sign him to an extension. So if Keon Ellis doesn't want to be there, then he can say, awesome, cool, I'm not going to sign any deal and I'm going to be an unrestricted free agent at age mid-20s, right?
Yeah.
And he's a good 3-and-D guard.
Yeah, he's not Jalen Brunson, but yeah.
But, so they sort of took the cheap option here for a team with really no prospects apart from their rookie last year, Devin Carter, as guys like whose ages start with 2. Oh, Keegan Murray. But what are the Kings doing?
Yeah, and then they're also the Pistons are reportedly interested in trading for Malik Monk as well. So I mean they're just basically gutted their roster that brought them any success in the last period. Yeah, like obviously De'Aaron Fox. They brought in half the Chicago Bulls roster to replace him, and I just see no plan. I see no future thinking. Just kind of honestly, it is just like teams call them and are like, hey, what do you reckon? Do you want to do this? And they're like, sure. Like, why not? Yeah. That's shaking the basket. That's changing it up for us.
Yeah, and agents are calling and using them as leverage. Yeah. Like we saw the phone call of Rich Paul and saying the Kings are interested at wherever the fuck that pick was. It's horrible. The Kings, after a brief flash of being respectable, are right back into just being a useless organization.
Yeah.
This is not these are not coherent thoughts by someone with their head screwed on.
No.
And we know that Vivek Ranadive has gone right back to Steve Perry, the guy that he before.
Yeah.
Just, I feel really bad for Alessio, even though he goes for Indiana now.
And let alone the player you traded Domantas Sabonis for just made it to the NBA Finals and was one Achilles tear away from the craziest NBA championship in history.
And like everything he did is believable for everything people talked about and expected from this guy. It's like, hey, whatever. Who do you want to talk about next?
Should we talk about the Rockets? I feel like they've made some nice positive moves. They've gotten so the big signing today, Dorian Finney-Smith, 4 for 53.
Which is the full mid-level exception.
Yeah. Which I think there was lots of chatter in the lead up that he was gonna at least show that he was interested in leaving the Lakers to try and get a contract out of the Lakers. Somewhere where he had a really good was he there just for half the season? No, he was there for the full season last year.
They traded for him in January. They traded D'Angelo Russell.
Yes. From the Brooklyn Nets, who are hoarding 3-and-D role players. But he's he gets along with Luka Doncic. They've got a good chemistry. He's kind of the best player to put next to both players, both like Luka and LeBron. But yeah, obviously the Kings were willing to give him
The Rockets.
The Rockets. To give him like a longer term contract, like 4 years for a 32-year-old at that money is pretty good considering. Like he's playing really well now, but he could fall off a cliff pretty quickly. But I do think the fit is incredibly good.
Yeah, the fit's good. I will mention that there was a report from David Miniman of ESPN saying that the Lakers are preserving 2027 cap space with the goal of signing a max contract free agent. In the report, he mentions Giannis Antetokounmpo and Nikola Jokic.
Oh my God.
Yeah, fucking let's just ignore the fuck out of that. But letting DFS walk when Houston came up and said we're going to give him years and we're going to give him 2 years into where you guys are hunting for big name free agents. They signed Jake LaRavia to a 2-year, $12 million deal. It's the only thing the Lakers have done so far. But back to the Houston Rockets, they got DFS, who has a lot of overlap with their best players being Eamon Thompson, Jabari Smith, Kevin Durant, Tari Eason.
Yeah.
But we've just seen 2 teams make the NBA Finals, and one of them with it, with this exact depth. It's sort of, it might be the new mold of what you need. Someone like DFS to play 30 minutes on a random Tuesday night in the regular season, as opposed to just stretching you guys so you don't get what the losing team did in the finals, injuries. Or just different looks. Like we saw Mark Daigneault was just like, hey, I've got Kenrich Williams and I'll try him for 2 games. Oh, it doesn't work, but at least the option's there.
Yeah.
Where if you're like, hey, I don't really like Tari Eason right now, maybe he's just fouling a bit too much. Well, here's the steady hand. Or maybe if you need 2 strong guys who can switch and guard post-ups, then you've got DFS there as opposed to skinnier guys. And I say that with them also bringing back Jayshawn Tate, who I was interested for him to go to a contender. And they brought back Clint Capella.
Yeah.
And I thought he was going to sign for the minimum with the Lakers. But he signed to a 3-year, $21.5 million deal.
I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money for Clint Capella, who just hasn't been convincingly good for quite a while.
He's been a guy you signed to the minimum for quite a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, what are your thoughts on Houston going with the depth route?
Yeah, I mean, I think because they brought back so many people today. Fred VanVleet, Jeff Green, Aaron Holiday.
The Jeff Green thing's a bit like, fuck, are you guys going to run out of roster spots soon? Like that's
and it's because they signed Jabari Smith Jr. to an extension a couple of days ago, which
5 for 122.
5 for 122. But this also just isn't like a huge show of faith in him in particular. Like this guy who drafted 3rd 3-4 years ago hasn't really performed, hasn't really been the player that you wanted him to. But you have signed him to a long-term deal. So, obviously you're looking at him as... I mean, they're definitely looking at him as a rotation player, but also as, a potential asset. Like, maybe...
he could get a lot better than this.
Yeah. And, maybe if you're hunting another star in a few years, they're like, oh, Jabari Smith Jr. is still 23. That's, that's the value of 2 second-round picks or something like that.
Yeah. No, just what they did with Jalen Green.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. I think... I don't know. Do you think they're kind of they're not blowing the horn a bit too early? Like, because their starting lineup's getting pretty old. You know, their rotation is getting older, and they did that 2 off seasons ago when they brought in Fred VanVleet and Dylan Brooks. All right, let's pair some true veterans with our young guys. I know it's worked really well. But you're not. You're squeezing the minutes for your young guys.
Yeah, I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all. As someone whose team just played them in the playoffs, I was quite scared of Jabari Smith Jr.
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah, right.
He was fast enough. He was fast enough moving to play the 3 on defense sometimes, and is just a capable rim protector. He's not the best in the world, but he's a tall human who's athletic, pretty much no injury history. He's I thought he was really good. He could defend 3 through 5 in a pinch, and I thought that was quite good. Gives you a different look. Am I worried about them? Like, they re-signed Steven Adams last week as well. Am I worried about, like, their young dudes? Like, yeah, there was a report a couple of days ago that Cam Whitmore, like, every team's calling about him. Which, if I was every team, I would do that as well.
Reed Shepherd.
Yeah, Reed Shepherd, like, you've got him on. You've got him for I mean, I was going to say so much longer. You've got him for 1 more year, 1 more year than Cam Whitmore. He's obviously got 3 more years. But like, the thing that makes this team tick is Armin Thompson and Alperen Şengün.
Yeah.
And no one's getting in the way of them. Like no one's. KD's probably going to steal shots, but KD's like, he's been a good teammate before, and he's mixed well with other ball dominant stars. So I'm not. Are you worried about that?
No, I'm not. I was being a bit facetious there. And you're so right about the roster spots thing. They might be one of the teams that you could probably name all 15 players on their roster just off the top of your head. There's no who are the 3 weird cunts who won championships this year?
Colby Jones. Dylan Jones. Where's number 99?
There's no 97, 98, 99.
Alex Dukas
on this roster. Alex Dukas.
Well, should we say the joke? Because OKC have a day starting on the 6th of July. They have a day named after every one of their championship players. 2 of them are off the roster now. What happens to those days?
One of them in a salary time.
That's all he has, man.
So funny. Sam Presti sitting down, still a little bit hungover from the championship parade. He's like, okay, time to dump Dylan Jones.
Yeah. Sick fuck. That's actually,
It's actually going to save us $7 million in tax money.
Devil works hard. etc. The Houston Rockets won 52 games last year, and they were second in the West. And
Far out.
A little bit of a fake second, because like 3rd, 4th, 5th all had 50 wins, right? So it was like they were the best of that very tight bunch. After this offseason, getting KD and DFS, among other things, do you see them as getting up closer to the level of the Thunder? Or are they still, is the West still going to be so congested that...
No, I think... I think them and Denver should, like, I guess permitting health, should separate themselves slightly from everyone else. Like they were right in that bunch, but they both made such positive move. Even if they're incremental, like it's enough, I think, to and they're both teams who they're both teams who struggled at a certain point in the playoffs, and it feels like this addresses that. Like when the Rockets could not get a bucket to save their lives. Like, how many times did both you and them score under 100 points in that series?
It was quite disgusting.
It was ugly. It was so ugly. Just imagine Kevin Durant just prancing in for 6 minutes in one of those completely deadlocked games.
True.
And then the Denver Nuggets. This is the first time they've added like a number to their rotation. Like, this is the first time their rotation has the number of rotation players on their roster has not decreased since they won the championship.
They still have so many dead spots there. Like, there's still Zeke Naji, there's still Darius Saric. It's
Darius Saric. God.
And it's like, is Julian Strawther finally going to do something? Like Deron Holmes coming back from his ACL injury that happened last summer league. Apparently he's good. But I agree with you. Like, Thunder's still obviously tier to themselves. But I'll just read out the West. So it's like Rockets, they've made steps towards number 1. The Lakers probably won't.
Probably stepped back if anything.
Probably stepped back. The Nuggets took a step forwards. The Clippers, we'll talk about them, took a step forwards, but both the guys they've added and the guys they have are getting older. And whatever. Timberwolves, I would say, got significantly worse. Like, they didn't have an answer for Shea. They were using Nickeil Alexander-Walker as an answer, and he wasn't the answer. And I don't know how they get anyone close to as good as Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
I'd say jury out on the Timberwolves purely because there's a big move they could make. Like,
what is it?
I don't know, but
like trading Rob Dillingham or something. No, because what the fuck is it?
But I mean, there's still like like, I don't know. There's still I guess everyone's kind of off the table now.
Yeah,
aren't
because
they?
you've got the list of available free agents.
Yeah. I'm more thinking like, could you move Rudy for someone, or could you move because they signed Naz Reid to this extension, so they're obvious. I think they are thinking he could be their starting center at some point in the next few seasons. And like, I mean, Randall actually did perform really well in the playoffs, like considering how he performed generally when he was healthy in the regular season. But I just get the feeling that Rudy's prospect of Rudy Gobert not being on the roster is still there for the Timberwolves.
Warriors also getting old, same argument as the Clippers. Then number 8 seed Memphis Grizzlies. Let's talk about them. Memphis Grizzlies, I will read out what they did. They signed Jaren Jackson to that big deal that everyone's been talking about for months, right? Fucking whatever. They obviously traded for their guy a week ago in the draft. They re-signed Santi Aldama to a 3 for 52, which a little bit like Luke Kennard here. It's a bit like, God, that's a lot of money for Santi Aldama, but it might be the new, it's the new 30. And they brought in Ty Jerome. Who's the other guy? It's not written here.
Cam Spencer? No.
No. Was there any other move they did today?
Did they make a trade as well?
Fuck, that's fully...
No, I don't think so.
Damn, I fully blanked. Okay, well, I thought there was something else here. No, they just signed Ty Jerome. So Ty Jerome to 3 for 27, while Santi Aldama's getting 3 for 52. What do you reckon about Ty Jerome coming? Like, I swear, did they not do anything else? Or maybe I'm just getting confused with their rookie that they drafted, the Coward guy. Did you hear the pod with Dante? How he's on the fake draft class in 2K. They don't let you write Coward because it's a put down.
What's his name on 2K?
Cedric Cowan.
Cedric Cowan. That's so funny. I'm a little bit confused by this. I think. I guess they're not planning to start Coward in the 2, are they? That's not the who's slotting in Desmond Bane's minutes.
I think
this team?
True.
Yeah.
Well, does KCP start and then play 15 minutes a game?
Probably.
The Grizzlies are also working on it's described as a Cole Anthony exit.
Yeah.
Which could mean wave and stretch, could mean wave to create cap space.
I think there's probably a situation here where who is naturally going to play the most guard minutes next to Ja Morant isn't obvious. And you've got Ty Jerome, you've got KCP, you've got Scottie Pippen Jr. But then the Grizzlies have relied so much on having someone play lead guard when Ja Morant, 1, isn't on the floor and 2, isn't healthy. Or 3,
suspended.
And I don't really think signing Ty Jerome, none of those players feel like. I think Scottie Pippen Jr. is like your backup point guard in the future. I really like him.
He's good and cheap.
Exactly. But Ty Jerome should be your backup 2 guard. Like, he should be coming off the bench, doing a bit of Jordan Clarkson 2021. Exactly what he did for Cleveland this year. Like, I don't think, and then he just could not replicate that in the playoffs. Which no one really expected him to. So then I'm a bit confused about, he can't be your starting. He can't be your starting shooting guard.
We'll both use Jalen Wells. We weren't thinking about him because he had the shoulder injury, but Jalen Wells, you hope he has like a Christian Brown rise, after they got rid of KCP.
He was really good. He was first team all rookie. In
the rookie of the year discussion. But it's like, okay, so who's going to be starting? Who are the non-big starting next to Ja? And you've got a collection of guys that you would kind of prefer them coming off the bench, apart from Jalen Wells. It's like, Scottie Pippen, he's not a starter. Ty Jerome, he's not a starter. You want him to be coming off the bench.
You want KCP to be a starter, but
he's too old.
He just regressed so much last season.
And you don't want Cole Anthony so much so that you're potentially waiving him, right? It's okay. So I started that conversation by being, look at the standings. The Memphis Grizzlies are rising, because I just remember leaving my home state, going thinking basketball, and I was like, the Memphis Grizzlies, positive, right? But it's not actually. It's a bit. It's they. I think they got one of the better players on the market for a lot less than I thought he was going to get. But I don't know why Ty Jerome goes here. Ty Jerome, you're better off going to a team where you're going to guarantee to like get 30 minutes off the bench and maybe start at a pinch. I think teams like that exist. And he didn't even get the full mid-level exception.
It's very cheap. Which I don't know. Maybe teams are kind of turned off by those players, and like he obviously was really good in Cleveland last year, but like those sorts of players can have really good seasons and then not be good the next year as well. And like Memphis offered him 3 years, so that's like some security. I'm more looking at this team like, God, you lost Desmond Bain, who's a really good player, and like I still think that move was right for Memphis, but like I can't see them just being like a lock for the 4th seed, let's say, given the way you read out that name of lists, and it's like that list of teams, and it's like Thunder, then Rockets, Nuggets, then someone. I don't think it's Memphis, just based on this conversation.
Well, God.
I like Santi Aldama though. That's a lot of money for him, but I like it.
It's the same problem as Ty Jerome, where it's like you never want him to start, but you're really comfortable if he's coming off the bench. Can we talk about DeAndre Ayton getting waived?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And he agreeing to reduce his own salary by $10 million. What do you think would have happened?
I laughed.
Yeah,
I thought it was
naturally.
I thought it was pretty funny. Just like it was a lot of, I guess, Schadenfreude, because I've kind of enjoyed his fall from grace, but also like I'm not entirely clear on why the Blazers. I mean, they don't want his money. They don't want him on the roster because they want to play other players at the center position. But like, there was just nothing else they could do. There was nowhere else.
There was a report that they looked. And they couldn't. Like no one wanted him.
Which, when you think about it, isn't surprising that no one wanted him in that contract. Like
35.5 next year.
Wow. That's true Santi Aldama.
And obviously you mentioned it, but they want to make room for their other centers like Donovan Clingan, probably number 1. And then number 2. Well, it's not Junior Reith, he's 30 years old this year, but Hanson Yang, have you seen all the stuff? Hanson. And they still have Robert Williams on this team, by the way.
God. Again, trade him to a contender.
Hanson Yang, you've been seeing much stuff of him in the socials?
I've seen the highlight package. The Chinese Jokic, but not really. But,
no, I don't mean highlights. I mean like interviews.
I haven't.
Because he needs an interpreter, right? Like he doesn't speak English that well. And then, so a reporter said, "Hey, I just want to get to know you a little bit more. What sort of stuff do you do when you're not on the basketball court?" And he's like, "Play PlayStation, eat, sleep." And then he posted a video of him like rocking up, like the coach, like Chauncey Billups is there, and he's like, "Oh hi, like Ni," saying hello. I was. I just for a split second I was like, what if it's not Ni Hao? What if that's something else?
No, you're right.
It is Ni Hao.
You're right.
This is the right house to be asking how to say hello in Chinese,
exactly
actually.
Right. So it's just written on the ceiling.
And then like you swipe, and then he's got AI to draw a picture of, create an image of him playing PlayStation in bed because of his quote viral moment. But what the fuck are you doing? You're him, man. Just go to bed and play PlayStation and ask your mate to take a photo of you. It's not even funny, but don't post it.
That's hilarious.
It's very puzzling.
It's so, I think the fact that we can have immediate access to the thoughts of a second round draft pick in the NBA at any given time.
He was the 14th pick.
Oh yeah, sorry. Excuse me.
He was projected to go in the second round.
Let's say second round mindset player who's like a 19-year-old Chinese guy. It's just so good. We never got the insight into these guys Again, yeah, he's projected to go in the second round. He doesn't speak English. He's probably not getting media training from the NBA, let alone anyone. Like, like because those the guys who get a table on night one of the draft, they must get heaps of media training these days. Like
Maybe.
or like an amount, a little like a powwow with the freaking NBA PR comms team.
Yeah, like the week before.
Yeah. Because they're not going full out of pocket. Like
No. I think that's true because do you remember Shabazz Muhammad?
yeah.
Yeah, he was at that media training. He was drafted in 2015.
Yeah.
He was at the media training and then he brought like 2 women with him. And they said, please leave. You're pretty much not going to get the training. Also, your NBA career is probably not going to pop off.
It's not gonna lift off the ground. Where do you think DeAndre Ayton ends up?
I think it's a 1-year deal. Apparently, he's looking for something above the minimum, but I think it's a 1-year deal to the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah, that sounds about
Although
right.
with the 2027, prospects, maybe it's a 2-year deal, and maybe they just give him the most guaranteed money. But
Yeah.
like I sort of liked the DeAndre Ayton trade for the Lakers to get off some of their bad salary. And now you keep the bad salary and you get DeAndre Ayton, who's probably not very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that's really depressing, actually. Especially, whatever number they signed him for, if he disappoints on that number, it's just going to be so depressing.
Yeah. Just scrolling through, there was just quickly, can we talk about the Charlotte Hornets trading Yusuf Nurkic, trading for Yusuf Nurkic? No, trading away.
Trading away Yusuf Nurkic for Colin Sexton. And I think there was seconds coming from Utah there.
Yeah.
And then the one move they did today was sign Mason Plumlee.
Yeah.
Let me just confirm.
Mason Plumlee to, well, it looks like the minimum to me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is the minimum. That's the only move they made, so they brought in Mason Plumlee. Well, I don't know what they're doing, man.
It's crazy. It's insane.
I really like this front office. You said that you didn't, but I actually, since the new front office has come in, since new ownership, they've just done small incremental wins, and they drafted Brandon Miller. Yeah, they drafted Tijon Salon, but it's been pretty good. And this, why would you bring in Mason Plumlee?
Has it been pretty good? Like, have they put basketball players around LaMelo Ball yet?
No, but I don't. That might not be the question.
Yeah,
the question
right.
might be, on the next great Charlotte Hornets team, does it have LaMelo Ball? Because it might be no, right?
That's terrible.
And they traded Mark Williams for like a 2029 Lakers first and Dalton Connect, like 2 first-round picks of value, and then it was nixed by the Lakers / the league. Like, that's a pretty good trade considering now it's out that he's a bit fucked, and they traded him for the 29th pick.
Yeah.
So that was good business. It's just not their fault that their guys cooked. Like,
Yeah.
and then Brandon Miller was a hit. Yeah, we were all flaming it at the time, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
But this is now they've gone back to puzzling.
But that's it. Like, LaMelo Ball is LaMelo Ball. Brandon Miller was a success. They seem to get value from things. But are there any rising? There's not even any other rising young guys on the roster who you really like. They just.
Yeah, they haven't found value on the edges.
They haven't found value. They haven't found value anywhere. They have not gotten value from anything.
That's true.
And then I guess you trade away Nick Richards for Yusuf Nurkic last season and whatever draft.
Probably seconds.
It was seconds. The Suns came back, and that's fine. Nick Richards wasn't fantastic, but he was a young center who was playing with LaMelo Ball.
It's hard to find them in Charlotte.
Mark Williams, probably just hiding the most horrid injuries imaginable, and the Phoenix Suns are just faking his medical right now. But again, he was a young center who played next to LaMelo Ball, and now it's literally as you said off air before, it's Taj Gibson and
Mason Plumlee in 2025, not 2015. Like,
yeah.
just
Not that Mason Plumlee was crash out in 2015 anyway.
but you know, you can't even be like, oh yeah, maybe this
Yeah.
guy's gonna get better. Like, this is who he is.
I can't remember what team we said we were going to talk about next, but can you just talk a little bit about your only move today, which was signing Kevon Looney
Oh
to
my God.
2-year, $16 million deal?
Far out. Well, yeah, like we have. God, the Joe DeMars era is just been a complete catastrophe. Like, every move has been bad.
It's so funny.
every single thing has been puzzling. His actions on draft night were just like there was nothing that even felt like it could be met with positive reception by the fans. And you know, like the fucking like Shams, you know, a bunch of other talking heads and Joe himself are like, don't judge us now. Don't judge this moves right now. Like, let us get on the basketball court and, you know, see how trading our unprotected pick next year when our second best player has a season-long injury and the rest of our roster is fucking terrible. See how that pans out before you judge us. But like, you got to do something that just makes sense. I think from a fan perspective. I mean, like, yeah, we have very, very little big depth. I think it's Eve Meesey, Carlo Makovic, and
You said that as a second name.
I just keep forgetting this Queen guy's first name. Derek Queen. Thank you. And so yeah, we needed to get somebody in free agency to fill some of those minutes. But Kevon Looney for $8 million a year for 2 years, it's just like I don't know, like. Kevon Looney and Zion Williamson should never be on the floor together. Like, there's just no way our offense doesn't grind to a complete halt when in those few minutes that they're sharing the floor. So yeah, I can't understand why this was the one thing we had to do.
There's so many. There's not a lot of guys that would theoretically fit with Zion Williamson.
No, but that's fine.
Yeah, but your whole, Joe Dumars and predecessors have done what seems to be nothing to bring those few players in. Like, I think it's like Miles Turner, Brook Lopez, like, or even just get like a Luke Cornett and just have a sniff, right?
Fucking like Thomas Bryant or something like that. Like, at least a guy who pretends he can shoot 3-pointers. Like,
there's been no, like, I don't know what the fuck the problem is. It's like, oh, we need rim protection. Yeah, well, like, what's Brook Lopez do? Like, guys like that.
Yeah.
It's so puzzling. It's so puzzling.
Yeah. And yeah, like, I don't know. We had like, at the end of the day, Jonas Valanciunas is going to be the most appropriate center we've had on our roster in the last like 6 years.
It's so cooked. You're also one of the teams interested alongside the Heat, the Bulls, and the Kings in Jonathan Kuminga.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Like, why the hell not? I guess. Sign another power forward.
Yeah, sign another one that's probably not very good. The trade would be, I'm looking for the matching salary.
One of our only 3 good players.
Seriously, I'm trying not to say their names. Like,
you're trying not to say Herb Jones. It's like you did last year.
It's almost got to be Herb Jones. Like, you don't want me to say Trey Murphy, of course.
No.
If it's not Herb Jones, like Stajonte, but it can't be.
No.
There's no way you can sign it.
No. So it's crazy.
Yeah. Fuck, man.
I don't want him either, just for the record.
Yeah, well, yeah.
What do you think about Jonathan Kuminga's suitors otherwise, I guess?
I think so. There was a report that his agent said he might take the qualifying offer, which is just like, I feel so bad for him if he did that. I think the Warriors will sign him to like that Jalen Green contract. So it'll be like a 2+1 or maybe even like a 1+1, or it'll be like 2 for $40 million, like something where it's like, hey, you're going to get enough money to like, you feel like you're paid. But it's just going to be instantly ready to be traded.
Yeah.
And it's like the next team doesn't have to stress about 5 years of him.
Yeah.
Which probably says something, like the fact that we're trying not to stress out the team that receives him. But, man, like, in this report says He averaged 15.3 points, 4.6 rebounds, and 2.2 assists. That's huge, 2.2 assists. But yeah, I'm interested in almost anything coming back. Like Herb Jones, sick, but like
it's not going to happen. Yeah,
the Bulls, like it's probably Vucevic. With the Kings, it's like I don't even know. It's we're just getting sort of like spare. Yeah, fuck. We're just getting spare parts. But yeah, I reckon his number's going to start with a 2, but the years are probably going to start with a 2 as well.
Yeah. Should we just quickfire some of these?
Let's quickfire.
Is there anything else you want to really dive into, or?
I want to talk a bit about, well, not deep dive, but one being Tyus Jones to Orlando as a backup point guard. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But Brook Lopez, 2 years, $18 million to the LA Clippers, seemingly as a backup.
Yeah. Well, no, it has to be
because he's not as good as the starter.
Yeah. Which was the best role playing center in the league last season.
The Clippers have done a really good job at bringing in old guys, rejuvenating their careers. Not that Brook Lopez's career is done, but they've got a really good system of, hey, our owner is happy paying a lot of money, and so if you want to spend your last few years making millions of dollars while living in Los Angeles, come here. Pretty good deal, actually. Pretty good trade-off. If only the other LA team was doing something like this. But yeah, you just get maybe the best backup center in the league, which is fucking pretty good. Yeah, he's 36 or 37, and James Harden is also 36, and you just gave him $80 million. But fucking, you're already in a hole, and you still want to sell seats in the new stadium. Like, keep digging.
Yeah, it's like the Clippers roster construction feels like a fait accompli. Like, just get old guys until Kawhi, retires. Or gets like the career-ending injury.
Yeah.
I fully had it in my head that Brook Lopez wasn't very good last season, but like his numbers were just exactly where they have been for the last few years. Like since the championship, basic. Oh no, he had a really good year after the championship year. Where he's second in DPOY. But yeah, like that's awesome, and
that's awesome, man.
But yeah, like if he has to play 18 minutes a night, like 22 minutes a night, that's so good.
This is where you want him to go to retire.
And then Batum 2 for 11. Yeah, he was also great last year.
Yeah, I don't think he's playing out that second half. But I think that's
so. This is the tax that you pay as the Los Angeles Clippers to get guys on your roster.
Yeah. D'Angelo Russell, 2 years, $11 million.
Yeah, God.
In a world where Santi Aldama gets $54 million, I feel like D'Angelo Russell's a bit better than that. But great feel like guy's going to start for him and then he's going to come off the bench. All right, catch and shoot player. I feel like this was done a week ago. I feel like Dante and I actually talked about it.
I said, I can't remember. I think it might have been to a housemate of the pod, Ollie. I was like, the Mavs are going to sign Dennis Schroeder, D'Angelo Russell, or Spencer Dinwiddie to a cheap 2-year deal, and they'll start half the season until Kyrie Irving comes back.
Could be a player option, so it's like D'Angelo Russell start, average 15 and 5, maybe like at the peak, and then he goes into free agency saying, hey, when I was the starter, I did this.
And the Los Angeles Lakers have freed up all that cap room.
Jake LaRavia, we sort of glossed over it, but that's your fucking fix. Like, you said that DFS is a good fit next to LeBron and Luka, but like, you sort of need someone who's a little bit more nimble of foot and can guard Luka's man. Yeah. Because LeBron is good on defense. Yeah. And you got Jake LaRavia, whose best position might be LeBron's position.
Yeah.
Fucking
it's dumb. We can
always write down Justin Holiday to the Lakers now. Yeah. Like, that's going to be their fix. Like Torian Prince is off the chopping board. Yeah.
Yeah. That's just it's just nothing. It's just nothing to me.
Such a nothing.
Yeah. Milwaukee Bucks, speaking of, Torian Prince 2 for 7, Gary Trent Jr. 2 for 7, Kevin Porter Jr. 2 for 11.
Good on him.
I think with Brook Lopez gone, Giannis Antetokounmpo would be pretty stupid not to request a trade.
Fucking idiot, man.
Because like, what are you going to be? You're rolling out last year's roster without Dame and Brook Lopez. Like,
Wow. Yeah, they re-signed Boogie Portis like 3 for 50 or something.
yeah.
Karis LeVert, 2 for 29, the Schroeder replacement. Schroeder's not coming up on my feed, but I believe he did sign.
I don't think it was official. I think it was
Just a yap.
yeah, it was a yap.
Yeah, what do you think about Karis LeVert?
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think he. I don't know. He's gotten quite a lot of money over his NBA career. It feels like, for someone who's just never really fit anywhere. But I feel like this is the sort of player Detroit are going after. Like, just pretty like, pretty energetic. Guards who can score all over the place. And like if Malik Beasley doesn't come back next year, which it doesn't look like he will, then like he can sort of sit between him and Dennis Schroeder in the rotation.
Fuck Malik Beasley shit. Horrible.
Yeah. Really funny though.
Reading a report here that the hold up on the Dennis Schroeder thing's confirmed, like there has been a handshake, but the hold up is that they're nutting out a Malik Monk trade. Malik Monk doesn't want to be in Sacramento, and Detroit he's going to be the Schroeder replacement.
That's much better.
So it's going to be a sign and trade.
Yeah, right.
Scott Perry doesn't want him on the team. Yeah, and so they're just working out what the salary is coming back.
What is wrong with the Kings?
And so,
he's one of your good players.
Seriously, he's one of your good dude whose age starts with a 2, I believe. But
is Zach LaVine 30 years old? God, that's fucked.
Is he?
Yeah.
Fuck me. But yeah, so getting rid of Schroeder, like, bad for the Detroit Pistons. Your best shooter in your team's history has been wound up in a gambling ring by the sounds, and you're going to replace him with Malik Monk, who's probably a good fit for both of those pieces. He can play off ball and on ball. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, good work, Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's when you're talking about Atlanta or Orlando jumping up next season, it's like, Detroit might already be there.
Yeah. They re-signed B-Ball Paul?
Yep.
I think he's good on 2K.
Yeah.
Who else?
Anything else interesting? Luka Garza signing with the Boston Celtics. The minimum.
Yeah. Trendon Watford.
Oh yeah, I like trending Watford.
Yeah. Probably we'll finish on Jordan Clarkson to the next.
Oh yeah. Well, I actually thought it was interesting what you said about our old mate Tom Thibodeau not being anymore, and maybe having a coach who's more pliable, more disposed to play Jordan Clarkson in a way that complements his basketball skills. And not play the starters 42 minutes. I think I like Jordan Clarkson in situations where he's the opposite of the starting point guard, and he's very different from Jalen Brunson. Like his play style, where he gets his shots, is very different. So I think that's just a good solid backup.
Because I immediately was like, okay, well, he's not going to play. He's gonna, but fully like,
they could be playing a completely different brand of basketball,
which is Sean. Very exciting.
The James Borrego Bickerstaff way.
2 things. Luke Cornett to the Spurs. Jackson messaged me before the report had popped up on my phone. He's like, yes, shooting center. Like, he's actually very happy with it. And available free agents, Miles Turner. That's probably going to take a week, I would say, to figure out, especially if Detroit get Malik Monk, they're probably done cap-wise, and then it's like Indiana just get to be cheap, because there was a report that they don't want to pay the tax, but if there's no leverage for Miles Turner, they're going to be cheap, and they're going to pinch pennies, and they're going to dodge tax.
No one else has the money anymore, do they? Like
Brooklyn. Washington. This is those guys who don't want a 30-year-old shooting center. Chris Paul still out there. Al Horford, Denver. Both of my basketball teams are interested in him.
Everyone's interested in Al Horford from the sounds of it.
How old is he? 39. His birthday was recently. Gary Payton just signed with a new agent
Oh, right, okay.
right after we declined his option / waived him.
Yeah.
Josh Giddey, no word on that. That'll be interesting.
Is he restricted?
He's
free
restricted,
agent?
yeah. Jonathan Kuminga also restricted. What were you going to say?
No. That's all I was going to say about that. Malcolm Brogdon's still on the market as well. Someone's looking for a backup PG.
Backup Paul George. I love this. We didn't talk about this on air, and if anyone's listening, thank you. The Orlando Magic's new logo and design.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome, man.
You're a fan of it?
Yeah. I think it's instantly a top 3 logo.
Wow. Yeah. That's crazy. And you don't think it's too much in the circular corporate logo school of thinking?
No. Good question there. I appreciate your time. No, but what's give me 3 logos better than this new Orlando Magic one.
Fuck, Sean, fuck.
The circular corporate.
God, the Boston Celtics one's pretty classic, man. You gotta admit.
Yeah, I guess. But like, give me like a non-heritage. Like, you can't go Sixers, Celtics.
Yeah, no, it's better than it's better than the Clippers one. Like,
oh yeah, that's aged poorly. It's been a year.
Yeah.
The Wolves is cool. I would say Orlando's better than the Wolves.
Yeah.
Like the Suns is cool. That's sort of heritage they've sort of kept. I guess out of all the modern logos, it's my favorite.
I really don't like. Yeah, it's kind of it's a good take on like the Detroit logo, like the make our logo a basketball with our name on it.
Yeah,
type deal. Cool. Anything else, Sean?
No, mate.
Kyle Lowry still on the market.
Apparently,
Precious Achua still
apparently
on the
it's
market.
done, mate. He's going back to Philly.
Wow. Mo Wagner's still on the market. They're going to bring him back for his brother.
He tore his A-word.
Yeah. His asshole.
Achilles. Asshole. Yeah, that'll be interesting, I guess. What's this? Is this Donnie getting under the carpet?
Yeah. He gets up.
Right. Donnie's holding his paw like a fucking human.
Yeah. He's got the little the little fruity paw.
Fruity. Yeah, no, that's it from me, Mark. Any final thoughts?
No, I just can't wait for free agency day 2, mate. You know how exciting!
Can't wait to wake up and do this all again with shitter players. Mark, thanks for coming on.
No worries, man.
You want to talk WNBA? Maybe some WNBL? Australian Opals chat? Heck, even dabble in some EuroLeague? Find the W Basketball Show on the Deep 2 Podcast Network.